even Morph, you do a lot.
Just to kick it off.
Yeah, it's such a long time, yet never really towards that top teams like DXavier perhaps.
It was with 0 eliminations, the 21-point average on that map. Now that's been
you do run into IHC doing that.
inexorably.
We expect to find you on the crossfire, and you're losing a player around the back.
Despite being a player down, although that's going to be small. Circle sit around that North Pachinki area, those headshot hills that are traitorous. It's going to be equally tricky, but if you move through it early, there's going to be fewer teams looking your way. It's going to be a little bit easier to navigate. You're going to have less sight lines to worry about. As long as you're trying to get to the other side of it, it's going to be a little bit easier.
A player performance here from Godless. 13 limbs. Godless has done a huge amount of work for that team. Always better be proud of him. Him alongside with Alex. Real heavy hitters on the team. Considering powerhouses take a bit more of a backseat role. In quotation marks. I don't think anyone on that team is taking that much of a backseat. Everyone wants to be in the front of that force.
Being a part of that team rather than being the hot shot, right? That's what a lot of these players, but if we're talking about 4MV as being a potential to be able to conquer that top spot, one of the Mongolian here, but it does rely on this match going. If it's a bad match for Nongshim, probably for 4MV as
25-point games, Nongshim Red Force, that does take you towards the top. You are relying on some of those top teams starting to do badly, and I think that the consistency that we've seen from some of these top squads has been fairly really those points dropping by. Here is PMGC 2023 live from
making sure it's keeping us on the edge of 14 out of 18.
Korea, their single representative here towards the grand finals, have a bit of a flair finish, right? Yeah. I think it's to be said that some of I think that with a circle look of being able to get towards that center side, I'll take it.
To Bamboo, Titan, trying to just get towards Potato Hill, east side of. After that analysis of yesterday's matches, see if they have that sort of similar idea.
Carrillo from Alpha 7 knocked and down. Day 3, the day of chokes coming through apparently for some of these teams. Alpha 7.
About when they're winning, about when they're on the to get frustrated, and that is the major challenge that we've seen for Alpha 7 over the years, as this roster, as these players as well. So it's now or never for Alpha 7 over the years, as this roster, as these players as well. So it's now or players, man. Sometimes it just bubbles over.
Yeah, I think he put a pin in it, right? Of who's in DXavier. Nobody is safe. Towards that top side of the lobby, Alpha 7 taking cracks.
But the ship is far from sunk.
Them as well, right? But I think at this point, they realistically, on a angle, never get circle lucky, right? There has been one game that southeast side that are able to angles, but they have the present time where the appearance in Fate, Alpha 7 down a player, DXavier down 2 up here.
More points on the tally. Mafioso, Senab, Revo is for Alpha 7. They're going to be moving in around that and Boboho trying to hold on out. In the meantime, Stalwart, they're pushing up. They're near shelter right now, and they're this one with a circle pushing up northeast. It keeps a lot of those Yaznai. We're going over to the east side of the map. Goodness, over to the east side of the map. Goodness me, action. I looked down on my map for a second and he's already getting involved. Whoa, okay. And some more.
I felt like Baron come on through, but in comes Top.
He's right up and close as well. Hops out the vehicle, nade in hand. Same for Doc as well. The res came through, so 3 cannons on the arm. 4-4MV, Top has to get out of there. He has the disadvantage now. Apex is still knocked for 4MV, which means that Storm going to try and continue the fight. Action once more. Goodness me, this man in a buggy.
Reposition from Top here, straight up towards the roofs. Try and get a little bit more of an angle. Clean back things over towards their side.
Transition into that central area. That's what I said I wanted to try and see from them, to be able to convert onto this match. It's just not working out here. They've moved into a strong position, sure, but there's just too many sightlines around them. It's too early to be able to take control of this with the number of teams that have freedom to take those peaks out towards your direction. It's not going to be the best of times. They're finding out all of.
Obviously, eventually, this position from pubg Evos becomes very dangerous over the roadside down your way, but if you're playing in that compound, the amount of free space and free reign you get from that spot is devastating to teams gaming. I think this could be a nice start for them.
Trying to hold down the east edge. There are only 2 players, though. That's what we've seen from, well, now the top 3 teams, right, have all lost players. They've lacked a little bit of momentum into this one. IHC with an opportunity, but they are all the way on the north side. I mean, Alpha 7 and S2G has popped out for the fight, and Hamzy gets displaced by the for it. Swings Alpha 7, they're down to 2. But
Elsie and Hamzy dropping in to live out in the shack here. Stalwart attempted for something a little bit similar. Sent out a scout. They lost a player for it, but at least they have information. No elims on the game so far. Alpha 7 and DX Xavier now both down to 2, but eliminations off the back of this game. Maybe looking for more as
crashing down the hill now. Zjol trying to move on back. Demo breaking wide. Is Alex going to follow to a vehicle? No, he's going to get in amongst it around the edge. He's not quite finding anything just yet. Godless on the high ground. Demo on the off angle. Alex and Zjol forwards to try and keep that pressure on up, and Alex finds the opening knock over towards Naomi here. Zjol now on into the on the staircase. Wants that DBS to through them, but God
looking for it now. Will unleash the first bullet, but the bookshot's not on target.
Oh no.
He's missing absolutely everything.
He's joking. Second, he looks for 3. Dino in a potential 1v4 situation now against IHC. A brutal team in the fight, but not this time. It looked a little bit shaky at the start of the fight. He take down IHC.
The bite down. The 2 players outside, a quick nade. Perhaps looks for the finish here. The 1v4, is it on the cards?
He pulls the pin on the smoke, trying to bait out a peek. Dino, he's close to danger. Does he know? They see the res up and into the window, but he gets through the door just in time. The blue zone's here to play now, and you've also got to get that re-knock from the zone into the vehicle. And Demo has to get out of there. Will he be allowed there? As
Dino sends them running, packing away in the vehicle. The glass of water in the front, in the footsteps of the Tyrannosaurus Rex Dino himself.
A nade to trade, and Major Pride go down. Unfortunately, he's going to be nothing more than future coal on this one. It's that gap. Weibo game. They're on that north side with a struggle position to get on through. Side with a struggle position to get on through. 2G keep getting these pickups in a central location.
Yeah, from that shack, it's got some really nice sight lines, in fact. These cheeky little planks that you can peek between do make for an unfortunate way to play this game out for some teams.
FaZe with the nade over towards Boboho, but it's not going to make its way through the window. Another nade goes forwards, and there it is. Picks up Morph, they will go down. Hang on a minute, that was Hamzy. And there it is. Picks up Morph, they will go down. Hang on a minute, that was Hamzy. For IHC, he was able to get, but they have been cut down to size. Demo open ground against FaZe. Not going to last too long there. Onzen's able to take him out, and IHC fall first of the
DX Xavier versus Stalwart here now. With Nerzed unleashing grenades, that one looks pretty on target. Origin's down. The top floor.
Ego. Nerzed, nade in, tries to post it, doesn't quite manage to nade in, tries to post it, doesn't quite manage to get on through the slit there. Chua hold out around the side, taken almost down entirely. Nerzed still wants the challenge with the SK-12. Oh, this is bold. Oh, this is bold from Chua, but it pays off. DX Xavier still going. It doesn't matter how much Chua, but it pays off. DX Xavier still going. It doesn't matter how much HP you've got. You've still got a DBS in hand, and that is brutal, but finally, it's put to bed. Stalwart, though, suffer. They pay them. They'll need that res. In the meantime, Weibo have been looking to try try and take that aggression, but one now under pressure by 628.
6-2. 6. Oh, elimination count of 8 here. 8. Over on that northwest side, Weibo Gaming is starting to find them.
Titan are going to be looking to try and move on in, but against Yudu's Alliance's position, it's going to be very, very tricky to make that move. They're more than likely going to have to crash onto that S2G shack in the very near future. A 6-8 move up towards Revo, who is still alive, and with 3 eliminations, if he can rack up a couple of more placement points, Alpha 7 are going to be happier with this performance than maybe it would have seemed towards the start of this match when they were down on their players. Few Stalwart, in the meantime, getting bowed down by Cluck, who's going to sit top. And now Nurse sit top. Now Nurse at the last to stand, but there's an answer there. Coming through from stand, but there's an answer there.
Top steps up to see if he can go for a challenge, but there's so many teams in and around this area. Action's going to go for it again as well. Nurse there taking bullets. It's not likely that 628's moving anytime soon. The vehicle explodes. At least gives them some cover to work with. But it is S2G towards that central arena.
Oh, Hamzy finds 2 over onto side. And an aid is cut up and in, cut up and in comes the remnants of 628. Down and Hamzy is going to be on the jet. A Molotov on in. The smoke's out forwards to slow things down, but 33Z is already here. Oh. Hamzy's going low. He jumps out wide and he's on fire now. Will and favourites, but they're still the Stalwart really in contest. 4MV are even further behind. Still only 2 on that southeast.
Stalwart right now just looking for anything that they can get off the back of this one. All they can do here is hope and pray that they get a higher placing. But most of these teams not likely to come into contact with one another until later in this game. Stalwart desperately need themselves an Eastern shift on the circle, a hard one as well, but not likely. Never mind, there it is.
All right.
It's exactly what they needed.
There was so little chance of that happening, you're right, Blank Bear. Here we are, in that very universe. Nice and secure for a time being, but they're going to have to cross. They're going to have to get past 33Z, and they're going to have to get past Yudu Alliance, who is really the major factor of this circle. They only have 3 players, though, so still potential for things to change up here.
I think for Loops, pushing down this way will be a little bit of a struggle. 6-8 down to 1 player, but lovely amount of limbs here, up to 10 now. Ayala spots over towards Titans and 4MV, and now have to make a rotate of a lifetime.
Mythic leading the charge for Loops to wrap around. Yudu Alliance looking to hold it off, but you've still got 4MV there, and the sideline peppers and the forward front hold is going to find Mythic. Get the flush, the steal from top. You're right, for Stalwart across the way. And Yudu Alliance are looking out that way saying, who did that? Who's the cheeky so-and-so who's gone for that shot over the top? It is top.
That's nice.
Shadow takes down 628.
It's realistically exactly what I was talking about. The hard Eastern shift allows Stalwart to pick up some more of these placement points. A 3rd place for Stalwart right now would be very towards their rankings. They're still currently behind IHC. They're still currently behind IHC.
Yet to add those placements on, though, against IHC's total. So I think as it stands, they might just be able to jump on up a little bit higher. 15 points total behind Alpha 7, so any more placement points they can get, you're right. They're in that pursuit, and Loop pursuit, and Loop spots top, though, and that might slow them down just a little bit. However, they've been behind this ridge for a while, and the res is through. Jeep is down, and there it is. It's down, and there it is. 4 Roadworks ahead. I don't think it does for Loop. I think it does for Loops.
Nice play there from 4MV, and again a team.
This is 3, and there's a.
Now it's Stalwart who has to only defend. Titans have to push over into open match.
But Titan are into the dip. They've managed to get Suki into that forward position, and that is going to be a real tough ask for Stalwart to deal with. Suki up, might be able to find an angle. 97 to follow it up. Shadow regroups as well. They are stacking as 3. Only the 4 nades in hand for Stalwart. So if they can get in range, they might be able to blast this one through, but Titan get the resupply off. You do get in range, they might be able to blast this one through, but Titan get the resupply off. You do Alliance's crates blank. A crucial pickup here. And as you can see, the move indicates that they know that. They know they have to deal with this position. Nerzad, what can he do? Manipulate the terrain. Top takes some damage. He needs to stay alive for them. For Stalwart, Suki moves further forward, but Nerzad can cut that gap. You see the gap in the smoke train.
Nerzad's got the majority of the nades here on side. He's got 3. Top's the distraction. Nerzad's the firecracker.
He's got the cover as well from the terrain. It's sloping on the roadside. The first is unleashed. It's going to go into the first smoke to find Suki. Now towards the backlines, Titan are looking for it. Top takes some damage, but he can suppress. He needs to spray into the smoke, and they're still worried about the shack. I don't even know if they think Nerzad's here. Shadow is there, looking for the angle, but they're not finding it. Suki crawls back for the res, but Nerzad's got another nade, and he's looking to do them dirty now. Pull the pin, get the cook, and there he is. The damage, the forward throw. Crawls back for the res, but Nerzad's got another nade. Now, pull the pin, get the cook, and there he is. The damage. It looks good. There's a knock. There it is. Right.
Maxman. I'm not even introduce this. You do it.
Let's go! I will single day of the week. Nerzad, what an insane play. He's done not that opening nade, so he's only have one singular player to focus on, and especially to that utility when the entirety of Titan Esports Club were pinched by the blue zone in OP dip. No way to escape, 7. That was potentially the game that we're going to look back at the end of this tournament and say that is what made Stalwart the champion.
Are you on the Stalwart train, Max?
Possibly.
But I'm with you. The way Nerzad was able to be so patient, wait for the right moment, start throwing those nades. And I love that he didn't decide to get up and start shooting, which is usually what we see some players do, right? As soon as they get a knock, they want to be able to finish it. Now, he was able to rely on his teammate, kind of the players that were in dip, and overall Nerzad, yeah, I mean, he has to be applauded in a big way for being able to clutch that up for them, because that was huge.
That's kind of that main